Teaching the boom. All right. Okay.
Well,
First thing.
because 2 games, I took everything on 2 games. I took every single fucking bit of the board, like literally every
Mhm.
single square.
Tommaso.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
But
GG's, bro.
after that, I've been
Take
getting my
care of
ass kicked.
business.
So
Okay.
like, I,
Rule number 1: never quit until all squares are taken. Rule number 2: always daily look at
I've never
your
retreated
buffs,
if that's what you want.
who your buff triggers are, who your buff negatives are, and who your alls are.
Yeah, your camera not on. I don't know if you purposely meant for it to be off,
It's
but it's not on.
well, I know I was supposed to be on, but it's not on.
No, your camera hasn't been on ever since I've been here.
I was gonna say it hasn't been on in a hot minute, to be honest.
Okay,
I
there
just
it is.
thought, that you doing that
But
for
let's
Okay.
say
recording
that I've only
purposes.
been up like an hour.
Okay. Okay. The boom. First thing you need to know is don't quit until all tiles are taken. Once your tiles are taken, yeah, go ahead, you can cash out. It's not gonna matter. Um, Rule number 2 is pay attention to this daily. These superstars will change and heavily affect your play status. Okay? And I will show you because I have a lot of them plugged in, or some of them plugged in. Okay. This all depends on your play style and how you like to attack and how you like to be aggressive and how you like to be defensive and how you like to build up. Me personally, I have found a preference of have this, the big circle, the buff. 4 squares can either be a buff or an attack. These top 3 can either be buffs or attacks. It's up to you. It's up to your preference and how you want to use them. I typically use the front wall as an aggressive tack. That's why the rock's in there with a -80, so that he can pretty much bop any high-end card. Right?
Everybody don't know me. Maybe some people haven't seen me before, so.
And then, yep, that's the hubby. And then,
Oh shit. Who else would it be?
the other thing is, it doesn't matter who has a pattern. Nobody has this distinct pattern. The patterns are all right here. It's all plug and play into these patterns. Right? So it's all the points
Another
you want to
female
run.
member.
So it depends on how you like to puzzle your game on the board. But I typically use this guy as a buffer. I'll use these ones as an attacks. I don't know why I have one in attack.
What would you normally start with?
Oh, because I don't have enough
Oh, nice.
negatives.
That
What?
came in.
What's my normal
What would you
starting
normally
piece?
start?
Okay, my go-to starting pieces are usually this one in the center. Okay.
I'm waiting for you on screen to catch up to you.
This one here.
Okay. Yeah.
Is one of
Just
my
say
first play pieces.
Yeah.
The forward and back piece.
Yeah. If you say a name, then that'd be easier for me rather than you just going this one.
Jay Uso or Jimmy Uso, the forward and back piece right now is my go-to first one play piece.
Nice.
Then these pieces also work well as a first play because they can advance you that forward one, right? The Bubba and the JC, the kind of half squares, half corners. This one's good to put if you have a spot in the middle to progress your sides if you need to spread your sides out because you skipped with the 4x4, the 4 corners, right? Because if you put the 4 corners down, you miss those 2 side pieces, so you got to go back and pick them up. Usually these ones pick those up. These ones as in the left and right 3s in a line. Ilya Dragunov and Roman usually pick up those sides for me, usually. If I'm forgetting to pick them up, I'll plug them in the center and they'll pick up the whole row. Also, my combination typically to start is Jimmy with the forward back piece or the 2 backup starting pieces that I showed you. And then I like to advance quickly with typically this piece. I need to change it back to a buff, most likely. Because I like to advance my second play with that one if it's in the lineup. Sometimes I'll use these two, Damian Priest and LA Knights, the
Yeah.
forward, back, left, rights. I'll use them as pickup pieces too. Now the back row guy, right? The guy who buffs the back row, the one that you put in the back row, the one that buffs the back row slots, or negs the back row slots, however you want to play it. I usually put him as a buff because usually by then you've taken a good part of the top board and you can just plug him in the top and he'll buff what you have behind him, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that card a lot, but I think it's on.
Yeah.
Not,
This one's
it's
the
not
nice
buff.
forward block. The forward line, the front line one. It's the nice forward block. No more advancing. If you haven't learnt by now playing with it. But it really just depends on your style and preference of how you...
Well, my style and preference has been getting me killed, which is why I'm asking.
Well, have you been going with the try to rush down the board and try to shut them down, or you just going with random dropping, or you just going with what plays the best?
I'm going with pretty much what it gives me and trying to fucking work it out.
Okay.
Depends on what cards I can take it.
Yeah. So you're just playing on what kind of works the best, what clicks into the best. Yeah. Are you running off your deck already auto-filled? That's the next question.
I mean, if you... Oh no, you can't even fucking get... Never mind.
What? Pull up your game and look at yours? It's okay. Like I said, plug and play, experiment. For those who may not know already, there is a cool thing in the filter system in the Boom deck editor. Let me show you. This is really cool.
I was that tired this morning that when you released your video on Boom, I said hello because it said... I thought you were live. I didn't realise it was a premiere.
So...
At least for the first 5 minutes.
The filter system on the Boom is quite interesting because you can sort by positives and what cards gives you positives, right? Like my cards aren't great for positives in the males. I'm not sure if anybody noticed this, but we noticed this quite early, and I'm not sure if anybody else did. But like, it's a lovely tool. And then.
But congratulations on getting your video up, by the way.
Yes.
I did too.
Also beware. There are cards that will say both, that will say all, damage all, plus all. That means your cards, their cards. All cards. Beware of the alls. Just throwing it out there. So that's a cool little feature. That also helps you kind of figure out what you need and helps you kind of plug and play a little bit better. If you didn't know that that's there. That is a lovely thing. I played with it a lot last night and figured it out. It's a lovely system. It really is. Yeah. Okay. So, I can't say I'm the best at the bomb, but I mean, I can play some bombs and show you typically how I advance and how I typically play. I can't say that switching between men and women help, but it just depends on what you get, really, in your hand.
I just been playing all males.
That's not a lovely start, but it will work. Okay, start with him. He goes forward. And to the sides, which were already claimed. We'll take the sign. We'll try to advance. I need the other way.
Look creepy.
Mm. Yes. Okay. Hmm.
I've hit my wall in campaign. So, um,
And then to get the best out of your numbers, to stack these numbers, if you notice, I'm placing these before I place theory down, because if I would have placed theory down in that center when it was wide open and those other cards weren't placed, they wouldn't have got buffed. Only the cards that are there get that buff. The other cards do not get extra added buff. Right?
mhm.
So, like, he'll give every one of those a buff. See that one square that's empty? Now if I stop and I don't put the card there and I put this here, and I just buffed him 11, and then I put him there, and that buffs even more. I got an extra 24 points because I took a second and buffed him. Hmm. Maybe. So, yeah. And then, if you want to, I can run another one for you to. Did that help explain it a little bit better? But really pay attention to the abilities. The abilities are the main things. The main reason I'm not running more abilities is because I don't have the cards to do more abilities. So I'm just running the best cards to give me the best points. I know it's a tiny bit slower. It's okay. Hmm. Hmm.
Thank you for having the daily stakes pin.
Yes. It's been pinned for a little while now. But it's all good.
I know. I saw it when I first came in. I was like, oh shit, I suppose I've got to do. Because that's when I woke up. Just after, it must have been not like maybe half an hour after the daily stakes came out.
It's all good. Do, 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 do.
Put it this way, when I decided to get up and fucking, I think Morgan and Rob were still in it.
Yeah. They told me you was up early, and so did the logs. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The XS version of Fortnite hasn't gotten sold.
That is.
And I don't know if I had placed on their internal. Maybe that's why it's able to. They've been small.
What's the odds of him heading over there? Okay. That's the only thing. You need to get bigger. Fine. You want it? Fine. 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 I still win 2 lanes. I'm still winning. You can have it. I don't care. Fine. Ooh. Are you done? He's being a pain. Stop it. Ah ha ha. Stop. No, stop booming. You boomed yourself, you dummy. And he took the lead by booming himself.
Yo, let's go. Got an ink thrasher from the daily. One of the super packs from the quest.
Oh, let's go.
Now we got acquired Cali.
Because Ink Thrasher is in the collection.
Nice.
Oh,
there is a metal. Oh, I see a metal and an ink.
So yeah, that's pretty
let's
much
go.
boom.
Let's go.
I mean, it's the luck of the
I
hand.
leveled up to 16. Oh, I see it. It's Charlotte.
Hey, my God, bro, Charlotte.
Charlotte for the ink and EO for the metal.
And because my women
I'm
reflect
loving this, man.
differently,
What the fuck?
I
Never
have
get
more
females
alls than my
totally
women.
out here. Hardly ever. I'm loving it.
I don't have
loving
ink
it.
on pros, but I got ink females, you know.
I was gonna say I got a few medals. Now I'm getting a few with the female and ink now. Like hell yeah. I'm loving it. It's a great balanced way to start off.
I agree.
But yeah, that's basically that's boom, guys. Like, I can't.
It really is kind of easy. I mean, once you just start playing it, you get a feel for it. You start to be like, okay.
I have 2 Ink females when you pro after this
What
morning.
I'm trying to get at is I can't really make it any simpler and put it any simpler than basically like what I'm telling you is what it is. You know.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Basically.
And what it is.
Oh
what
God.
It is.
What it
So I'm
is
just
I'm
done,
getting my
mate.
ass kicked.
Nah, you're good, man. Like,
Oh my God.
It takes a little bit.
Whatever, Major. Yo, that might
Like
be stuck in my head.
Oh my God. I lost.
What?
Already. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And
God.
Shadow,
Becky,
What?
I don't know if you were here, Shadow. I got Paul Heyman out of my manager slot.
I heard. It's a miracle.
I know. Right?
I got the white
Or
6 ambush ink.
I have an invasion Bobby the Brain Heenan manager, and it completely took out fucking Paul Heyman.
Bobby the Weasel.
Well, as a single, it gives you 1,350 quarter speed.
Let's go. I just put Maxine Dupree in my team deck.
Oh, you doing what I did to somebody else. You can fucking have that. You can fuck off with
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah. Fuck off.
You just like chasing takers this tier because like everybody got like those 3 taker equipments, right?
Everybody but Philly, right?
So,
I only got 2, I think.
Who happens to be a huge Taker fan. I
But
don't
couldn't
have
get cash.
Taker anything new season yet.
right?
Tony kind of like rubbed it in the other day. He got the new, I think it was what was it, Taker Metal, I think it is. Metal Taker, yeah.